Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Mountain Valley Farm. This is episode number 22, and we are picking up relatively soon after we finished up with episode number 21. We just took a break and had lunch here, virtually had lunch, of course, on our farm. So gave ourself and our helper a bit of a break, and Ma cooked some lunch for us. And so now we are going to get to work picking up the straw from fields, what we've numbered sort of fields 1 and 2. Officially fields 1 and 2 as far as Farm Sim 17 is concerned. Oh, I was going to get some fuel. Fields officially number 1 and 2 are basically the soybean fields down below. But if you remember way back in the very beginning of the fun on this map here, as we began to cut trees and carve out what would eventually become our fields here on the little mountain plateau here next to our main farm and everything. We sort of labeled those fields 1 through 4 because, again, sort of when we started this map, we weren't really 100% sure if we were going to actually be expanding into the official fields that are cut out down below, but it all worked out for us to do that. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to bale this straw because while we need to make sure that we get the maximum, first we need to unfold the baler, Jerry. Of course we do. We need to make sure that we get the maximum amount of straw off this field. And you know, it might, I don't know how they would do things in the real world. Maybe they would immediately go after and start harvesting the canola that we have growing that is also ready to go. But we don't want to lose any of the yield of, and hold on just one second, I'm getting all sorts of pop-ups for software updates and stuff. Just go away and leave me alone, okay? All right. So anyway, I'm not sure if how they would do that is what I guess is what I'm trying to say. And our baler turned off. Our baler's back on. Okay, let's get with this. All right, now we're making straw bales. But we want to make sure that we get the straw. So we basically have 4 fields here on this high plateau area that we've carved out ourselves with our own sweat and blood, sweat, and tears. 300 and something trees that we took down off of this area here, and those are all, if you go back to the early episodes, you know, episode 1 through 3 or 4 probably covered most of the information with regards to the whole tree cutting stuff that we've done on this map. Anyway, we cut all those trees, 300 and something total, and cleared these fields, cleared the stumps, plowed the fields to define them, and then went through the processes of seeding and all that good stuff. So that is what we did. And so anyway, we've got 4 fields up here at the top, and again, sort of we've got our canola field that's right in front of us there that you can see. That is ready. That's ready to go. But I think that what we want to do is we want to get this straw picked up, just in the event that, you know, we have something odd happen, like rain or something. Of course, we don't have rain in the forecast, but I'm trying to play realistic here, where, well, we might not know if there's rain. This baler is not picking up as wide of a swath of the straw as I thought it would have. But anyway, hoping that we get enough yield out of this. Would like to see, I don't know, 50, maybe 50 bales of straw off this field and the field behind it. So this was the wheat and the barley crop. So I don't know, we'll see if we can get to that. And most likely what we will do is I will get this baled and then pick it up and put it in the barn, perhaps off camera, just so that you don't have to watch me stumble through all of that. Of course, I'll be using an auto-load trailer to pick up the straw, so that's not that big of a deal, but not much sense in covering that just simply because you know how that all works and everything. So again, hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful day, and hope you're enjoying farming on your own virtual farms, regardless of what map that you might be playing, and what version of Farm Sim you're playing. Farm Sim 15 is still quite popular with a lot of folks. I guess just like Farm Sim 13 was around this same time frame a couple of years ago, when Farm Sim 15 was the relatively new kid on the block. Of course, 17's been out almost a year. Believe it or not, I mean, time is flying. Time flies when you're having fun. That is a true statement, and that is obviously the case for me. A busy life and everything, time just tends to whiz by. And so, but yeah, Farm Sim 15 is still quite popular, and I've still got my mod list out on grizzlybearsims.com. If you go to grizzlybearsims.com, and in the upper right hand corner of the website, you'll see a link for add-ons and mod directory. If you click that, that will take you to a Google document spreadsheet. And in that spreadsheet, or on that spreadsheet down at the bottom, you'll see 4 tabs, or no, you'll see more tabs than that. You'll see probably 5 or 6 tabs for the various simulation-based games that I play that accept mods. And so I've just started playing Car Mechanic Simulator 18, and while there are no mods currently available for it right now, well, there are some mods, but I don't think that they're stable right now. There's some custom cars and stuff that some folks have made that I've been sort of hearing about and reading about, but I'm not sure if those are really ready for prime time. But I do have the 2 DLC packs, which I purchased at the time that I purchased Car Mechanic Simulator 18. Those are out there, and I'll be adding to that. But based on the Farm Sim content, or Farm Sim subject, I do have a spreadsheet that's still full of mods and links that I use in Farm Sim 15. Of course, I usually tell people when I talk about my mod spreadsheet, especially as it pertains to Farm Sim 15, the mod links may not be current, meaning that I haven't stayed on top of the updated versions, and if something got removed from a mod site or something like that, or the link changed or whatever the case might be, then it might not be accurate. The list may not be accurate, but it is accurate for 17, or it's as accurate as I can keep it with maybe over 100 mods on the spreadsheet by now. And it's something I said I wasn't going to do. We'll get in cab and run a little bit of this. It was definitely something that I wasn't going to do. I wasn't going to go hog wild on the mods for Farm Sim 17. I was going to take the approach of less is more, and with the exception of things like courseplay and GPS and auto combine or vehicle extension mod, etc. I was basically going to go with fewer mods, less mods than I was doing in Farm Sim 15. But as so many fine mods began coming out for Farm Sim 17, and seeing all of this really wonderful equipment and stuff that was out there, and seeing how that it was much improved from its Farm Sim 15 counterparts, etc., I started becoming a little crazy with the mods, and I do have my share of mods, like most folks do, and I have my favorite mods. Now, I'm not really using a whole lot of mods on this map, and I just decided to stick with a lot of default stuff. Well, this baler is not default, obviously, but like our combine is a default piece of equipment, and so. But I do have a new map in mind. I've already got it downloaded and been looking at it, and of course I will reset it because we will be playing it with the Seasons mod, and I will be officially starting that series soon. So I will make sure that I tell you all about it at a later time, but right now I'm keeping it kind of all under wraps. It's not for any sort of suspense reasons or anything like that. It's just that, you know, I'm still wanting to weigh my options just in case there was something that might come out that is perhaps a little more exciting, or you know, something like that. Then I will obviously not disappoint anybody by somebody really looking forward to me playing a specific map, and then something changes and I change my mind. Because kind of keep in mind that while I try to operate my YouTube channel with sort of a direction of keeping people happy, keeping my viewers happy, you are important to me, and I don't ever want you to think that you're not. But at the end of the day, this is an extension of my hobby, the YouTube thing, and I enjoy helping people and everything. Don't get me wrong. But it is an extension of my hobby, of my gaming hobby. I don't have a desire to become a full-time YouTuber. Oh, I would love to retire early. I would not pass that up if the opportunity presented itself, and if I was assured that my wife and I would be, sound and everything with our investments and everything for the rest of our lives. I would do that in a heartbeat. But I doubt very seriously if I would, all of a sudden, if I were retired, I doubt very seriously if I would do really anything much different with my channel than what I'm doing right now. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, it's about my enjoyment factor as well. And so that's why I play maps. I play maps that I really enjoy, I really like, and if there becomes problems with a map or something, some folks might wonder, well, you've started up some series and you've not finished them and everything. Well, it's because either the map had some problems, or perhaps it was, the story was too far along and something happened, either performance due to, I think Giants updates messed up one or two maps. The Seasons mod changes, and that's no fault of the Seasons mod development team or any specific map modder or developer. It's sort of like we all use Seasons mod at our own risk in the early stages as it was currently being developed and everything, and I thought it was worth continuing to stay current on those developments and everything. But again, sort of at the end of the day, it's sort of about what I enjoy too, and that's why I play the games that I play. And of course, I try to keep things fresh on the channel, and try to keep things rotated through. And of course, for the most part, this channel is about farm sim. That is how I started my channel. It's what I started my channel with, so it is what is probably, at least for now, going to always be sort of a part of my channel, is farm sim content through Farm Sim 17 until something else comes out. But yeah, so that is sort of the points, I guess, that I'm making. But I am enjoying a few other games. I still enjoy Truck Sim, both ATS and ETS2. I'm really looking forward to the doubles coming out, the updates, the ATS updates that include the doubles and the triples, but include the doubles. I'm looking forward to that. I do have the beta, and I wasn't going to do much with the beta as far as episodes go, but I think I will probably record an episode. I may actually even do it today, if I can find a job with the doubles with the beta patch from SCS. Alright, just moving right on along, getting the straw belt up. Not real sure how many bells we've produced, but productivity's been fairly good, I would say. I mean, with this field and the field behind us, I think that we're going to be okay for the winter. And we're about halfway through our episode, and I need to get a drink of iced tea here, so bear with me. And we'll turn right and pick up this one row here. I probably would have been better off to have raked this, maybe consolidated some of these rows. I don't know if our if our rake is actually wide enough to really do that. I may look into doing that for this other field, and most likely I will bail that off camera just to keep the episodes from becoming too mundane, too monotonous. I'll see if maybe I'll see if our rake is wide enough to actually combine a couple of rows. That might make things a little quicker, and also, of course, make it easier to get the majority of the straw off the field. Isn't summer just clicking by pretty quick? You know, I have my Grizzly Bear Sims Facebook account, and I also have a personal Facebook account that I only my only friends on that, my personal account, what I refer to as my personal account, which goes back to the early days of Facebook, mainly consists of family, a few friends here in the Colorado area, and then many of my high school classmates and some college friends and stuff like that. And so I've been sort of living vicariously through some of my high school and college classmates who, you know, have kids and everything, and of course most of their kids are in junior high, high school, and college range. Of course, it kind of depends on, you know, we've been out of high school for 30 years, so I mean, I'm sure some of my classmates are probably already grandparents by now, if they got married and had children and everything early in their lives. But a few of them, you know, got married later, did the whole college thing, and then got their careers going, and then got married, and then had a family and all that kind of stuff. So they're 50 something, you know, and have kids in the, like I said, in the upper junior high or upper high school range, and like I said, some college. But you know, I've been sort of living vicariously through some of their Facebook posts and stuff like that, and so a lot of them, you know, the kids are already getting ready to go back to school. Some are already back in class. I'm recording this episode in about the midpoint of August. You're going to see it 7 or 8 days or so later. But yeah, it's pretty close to the middle of August when I'm recording this episode, and yeah, even here in the Denver area, some of the schools have gone back to school already. Others are, you know, gearing up to. When I was a kid in high school, my true summer vacation started right before Memorial Day, and school classes themselves actually did not start until about the week before Labor Day, so around the 20-something of August, maybe 23rd, 24th, 25th, something like that, depending on how the week fell. But of course, my summer sort of officially ended around the 1st of August, because I was either involved in sports, in football, which started, football training and everything started in early August, or in band, marching band, and that usually started again early August. And so I would all have to have my vacation, my travels, things like that, all sort of done and out of the way before the first part of August came around. Because again, whether it be football practice or band practice, those were pretty much 5 days a week, so it was almost like going back to school. But of course, going back to school probably about, you know, two and a half, maybe 3 full weeks ahead of everyone else, ahead of the actual, you know, class and learning the reading, writing, and arithmetic stuff. But so yeah, so sort of, you know, reading some of these Facebook posts of these kids that are gone back, and of course some have kids of college age, and they have also already, in some cases, already reported back to their schools. And my boss actually, his son is starting his first year at Virginia Tech, and so I think next week he and his wife and obviously his son will fly out to Virginia Tech from Denver, and get him all set up in the dorm and all that kind of stuff. And it's been kind of an interesting thing living again, sort of living vicariously through them. My boss has been my boss for 10 years or so, and I've known him for much of my stay here in Denver. Much of my time in Denver, I've known him, and I've known his kids. I've gone to both of his sons' bar mitzvahs, and just kind of watched them grow up, and so now his oldest is, wrapping up his high school experience this last, late spring, and then of course beginning his college experience and everything. And I remember it was quite interesting times when I was of that age, and beginning college. And I often think back to that. Time frame, and it's always very good thoughts. It was a very exciting time. Of course, much of what I sort of reflect back on also has to do with music. I was very, as I guess most kids are at that age, and I'm guessing that they are today. The exception, though, is that perhaps the music is not as good today as it was back in the 80s. I mean, I think for my generation, kids of my generation, my age range, I think we had the best music. The best decade of music was the 80s, and that was pretty much the best decade of almost everything, I suppose. But I suppose that's how it depends on how you look at it. And I'm sure that each generation, I'm sure my parents, as an example, they probably believe that the best decade of music actually was, the 50s, growing up in the 50s and everything. But for me, what I sort of think the best decade of music was the 80s. But growing up and sort of everything, sort of music being that key factor that very much set the stage for so many things in my life, set the theme almost for so many things in my life. So anyway, we are coming up on about 22 or 23 minutes or so here. I'm gonna jump out of cab here and very slowly drive over this huge pile of straw there, and then we will sort of swing around and push that bell out of the way. I'll take a look and see if it's worth picking up any more straw from that other field. Again, a few bits and pieces here and there laying around is not a problem, as long as we have enough straw, enough yield to get through winter, through obviously spring, and then next summer. That's all I really care about at this point. But anyway. So most likely in the next episode, and that'll be episode number 23, I believe, we will start harvesting the canola, and I'll do an episode of the canola, and then we most likely will do an episode of harvesting the soybeans. Now, soybeans, I don't expect the soybeans to be ready to harvest, or we have the ability to harvest the soybeans until probably Tuesday. If you look at the weather forecast, we've got sunshine tomorrow, so that's most likely when we will do the canola. Then we've got rain on Monday there, third day of fall. And then Tuesday is partly cloudy, so we'll probably be in a wet crop situation for much of Monday, depending on when the rain falls. And then we're just basically going to take a gamble that we can get the crops dried out and then be able to harvest the soybeans on Tuesday, because my guess is the soybeans aren't going to come ready to harvest until Monday anyway, the third day of fall. I can't remember when we planted them, but I do know that they're not ready to harvest right now, so we will just take a chance. And so I'm sort of thinking about how many more episodes that we have of this series, of this Let's Play, and I'm thinking we are down to perhaps the final 3-4 episodes. Definitely, I think under the final 5 episodes. Again, I think I'll do an episode of us harvesting canola, and then most likely an episode of harvesting the soybeans, and then of course we'll sell everything, and then maybe do one episode of winter if I can figure out some things to kind of show you guys, and then we're going to get on the next project. I'm going to just primarily focus on one farm sim map, or one farm sim activity, I think, right now, and then just kind of interweave other things like Car Mechanic Simulator 18, weave some truck sim stuff in there, and then just kind of see how it goes, because things are possibly going to get a little busy for me in the next couple of weeks, and I know I say this from time to time, but you know, I never really know much about what my job tasks are going to be, what projects are going to come my way and everything, and what travels I'm going to have. But just wanted to keep you all aware of that. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here, because I'm really running out of things to maybe say. We've talked about my old high school stuff and going back to school for the kiddos around today, and so I hope you all are having a wonderful summer. I hope you got everything accomplished that you wanted to accomplish. I've put off some projects until the fall, just because it seems like our August, well actually it feels like it's fall right now outside. We have had some unseasonably cool temperatures for August, even for August in Colorado standards, and we've had a relatively wet last couple of weeks as well, where we've had sort of a pattern of rain almost each afternoon, each evening, and I may sound like I'm a bit stopped up and everything. I do have some allergies that kick in kind of late summer and early fall, and I don't know if those things are sort of kicking off now or what. But anyway, I've put off a few projects that I need to do outdoors for the fall time frame, just when it was a little bit cooler, but I suppose I could actually be doing them now. But in any event, anyway, I'm babbling, and I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this episode up here. You know, I wonder if, I'll just say this and then I'll close out this episode, because obviously this is going to be the only baling episode that we do, but I'm wondering if the pickup issue on the baler is related to the same issue that we had with raking and tethering of our hay and grass in previous episodes, where we have thought, and I never really tested this because I really didn't feel a need to, but I wonder if maybe the tether wasn't the problem, with it not being able to touch all the portions of the grass, or even the rake as far as that goes. But anyway, I don't know, I'm babbling now. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning into my channel and picking up my content. Thank you. That's pretty much all I have to say. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful morning, whatever time frame it is where you are. Please go out and check out PCSG and the Three Dudes Gaming Network. You'll find links to both of those wonderful communities down below, and also check out my friends on YouTube and their content that they're producing on a regular basis. All good family-friendly content, and I look forward to you returning for another episode here on Mountain Valley Farm, or returning for any of my other content that I put out there. And I'm also looking forward to interacting with you in those communities, and then maybe even on a future live stream at some point in time. So thank you again for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and check us out. Check me out over at Discord as well. I'm usually on Discord pretty much throughout the day, and if you have questions, you can ask me on Discord. Maybe someone else will answer your question, or I'll answer your question once I get around to seeing it. And so thanks so much for all that you have, all your friendship and everything. Very important to me. I really appreciate that. Take care now, and I'll see you next time. God bless you all. Bye-bye.